happy Monday to me. It's a brand new day, brand new week. So remember, we're living today and the now. There's so much opportunities that are going to go your way. Just gotta have to be mentally prepared and get ready to take it. And remember that we're goal-oriented people. We want to write our goals down for the week, for the day, right? And remember, you want to write them down because you write things down. That's where you put your focus. Where you put your focus, that's where you put your energy, and then you create movement. And life is about moving forward, the Avanti way. So today, Monday, thank you for joining me for my morning walk. Uh, I just finished getting out of church, so then I do my little walk and try to use this live to connect with my audience and share thoughts of what's up. So today I want to go over uh first talk about my latest video. First of all, I put up two videos last week, but let's put them in order. I made a video of Coconut Grove, of the history of Coconut Grove, how's Coconut Grove performing. You know, Coconut Grove is Coconut Grove is in part of the city of Miami, one of our greatest neighborhoods that we have. And highly encourage you to go there and watch the video. Definitely appreciate if you give me a like. Also subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the feedback that I'm getting up. So look, I love sharing a little bit of sunrise. They say it's good to look at the sun coming up for at least 10 seconds, right? This is that resets your clock so you can start the day off right, and then the internal clock starts moving forward. Brother, you should be able to sleep in 12 hours. All right, so I did that video, Coconut Grove. That is up. I mean, my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for the support. Almost about to hit the 12,000 subscribers. I appreciate that. I also see a lot of movement. I remember that putting a lot of effort into the YouTube channel to complement what's on the book. Also, uh, the my book, Miami's Pre-Construction Blueprint. He's out for already a month and a week, I say. Uh, I've been doing a couple interviews, couple talks about it, and I think it's taken a very well taken. I've been getting some nice reviews on what people have been saying about it. So highly recommend for you to read it. I've talked about it. I made a video while I wrote the book. You can look it up on the YouTube, right? Who is this book for? And those issues and those things we talked about. But I highly recommend that you look into the book, The Miami's Blueprint, because it's a book that's, if you live in Miami, you're going to get great knowledge, understand what's happening in Miami. If you're an investor, you're going to want to invest to motivate you and give you the fundamentals for you to invest. And if you are a an end user or somebody who's thinking of buying something, you will understand and to navigate and buy the pre-construction. Because buying pre-construction, it does have has its challenges and it has benefits, but it also has its downfalls. So understanding how you navigate this will make this a good decision for you, or to actually to make the best capital decision. The end goal is this. One of my prime goals in my life is to add value to everything. So I want to add, as a realtor, as a friend, as anything, I'm going to add value to things. So if you read this book, I think you add value to your understanding of the pre-construction world. Having said that, I want to talk about. Okay, so I also, guys, if you like, I have a newsletter where I send out an email every Sunday with different topics, real estate or what's going on, right? So the email that I send out this Sunday, I I talk about three projects that I recommend for you if you are thinking of buying. These three projects are going to be done in the first quarter of next year. Or means that you're ready to move in within the next 6 months. That is important because there's a big demand for new construction or new things that are new. And something new is here 10 years. Right? And these three buildings are coming into the market right away. So let's first break it down. I highly recommend, and there's still some units left. It's Vida, right? Boutique, uh, boutique building in Edgewater. It's going to have a combination Vida for you just to understand it's a hotel brand or it's a very known in South America. But the way they're going to operate this is they're bringing to the market a couple unique things. First of all, I think it's 7 stories, and then you have all the amenities in the rooftop, and they're going all out with the amenities in the rooftop. So the first 2 floors are going to be hotel, kind of hotel operating. This is an Airbnb building too. So already these buildings are new. They're coming up with things like 2 different counters, one for the residents, one for the guest. The way every guest that comes in, it's going to be received. And because remember, the two major problems of people, major complaints of Airbnb was who was going to, who met you in the lobby, where did you get the keys? So now that's being taken care of, right? As part of the HOA, you're going to get your people are going to be received in a different place. Also, how many people you put in a room that also will be controlled. And now this new type of buildings will also have good amenities that are because then at the end of the day, if you're in the Airbnb business, you are in the hospitality business. That's just no other way of saying it, but you're competing with hotels. So you got to have a product that's kind of similar to your life. Remember, these units come completely furnished turnkey, right? Uh, that is so you could have a standard to be set. So Vita is coming up, and Vita has something that is called the Flex product. That's very new to Miami. So let's say what's Flex? I see this already in New York. I was in New York with my son. We rented a 1 bedroom and they flexed it so they could get 2 people in there. And basically, it's converting, let's say, a 2 bedroom apartment that could be uh, converted into 2 1 bedroom apartments. And the plan to make the 3 bedroom there, which is very nice. And his plan is to live in the 1 bedroom. We live in the one side of the 3 bedroom apartment because the three, yeah, believe it or not, the 3 bedroom apartment converts into to 3 different little apartments, right? So he's gonna live in one and then rent out the two. And when the cash flow of this, it was a great thing because you actually can live in one and then the other two will pay off the rent or pay off the mortgage of the first one. So it can kind of. So I highly recommend if you're looking to invest in Miami to give me a call and let me check out this Vita and Edgewater because that's coming out be delivered soon. Remember, it's actually very important because next year we expect a major boom in Miami. Two things are happening in Miami a part of all the events that we have, because Miami, is a city event, you have Formula One being one of the top events, Art Basel, uh, the book show, and all the sports that we have, and all the events that we have. We're having the World Cup is next year, and part of Miami. So Miami, we expecting Miami to have an overflow of visitors. So if you're going to be in the Airbnb business, you are expected to be making uh, nice income coming from this investment properties. And Vita, guess what? Will be ready and full operational to take into account and take and enjoy the benefits that all these tourists are going to bring in. Because Vita Edgewater is very well located toward the end of Edgewater, right next to expressways. So I highly recommend if you're looking to invest in a project that you look at Vita. The other project that I would highly recommend, which is also it's called Nomad Residence. Nomad Residence, it's right in Wynwood, right in the middle of Wynwood, right on Second Avenue. Second Avenue is one of the most walkable streets if you Google that because of the walls and Wynwood walls, etc. But Wynwood is the culinary part of Wynwood. That's where all the top of the Michelin star restaurants are, making that their home. Uh, I was in Pastis on Friday night. The place was packed. I mean, so the restaurants and the nightlife that you're getting in Wynwood is definitely a major part. So Nomad Residents, which Nomad, you just understand it's a brand, they're high-end boutique hotel. They're in Paris, they're in New York, they're in Vegas, in Miami, they're coming in with the residents, right? So you're gonna have the Wynwood residents. That means you could live on it, uh, put it to as an investment, right? So it's ideal, right, for somebody who's single. It's ideal for some for like a nomad person that wants to live 3 months out of the year in Miami and 3 months out of, and then they have their movements around. So that's their target. Because reality is this: all these buildings that allow Airbnb, or that they already come prepared to have the daily rentals. Because let's just say nowadays Airbnbs are very common. There's just say daily rentals because all the platforms are out there. But the reality is that all these units are made very small. I mean, square footage wise, because they're meant for you not to be much in the unit, to be outside in the common areas, and they're not really for you meant to live in. And I would not recommend. And like if you wanted to move to Miami and actually live in Miami, I would not recommend you to live in Airbnb, because this Airbnb, you if you have family, you want to create community, you want to create stability, security wise. But then, that works for you. But then if you're single and if you're looking for more interactions, more of a life, right? More of getting the services, eating out and stuff like that, right? So normal residence is going to bring normal residence. I mean, besides, honestly, it's location, location, location. This has that location, location check mark to it. My expertise, highly recommend that. Um, then what it has also, uh, fine dining. It's going to have their Nomad restaurant with a Michelin star. They're going to have their Nomad bar, which they're known all over the world for their drinks. Um, I think it's mixology. So they're really big on that. I think they're the top 20 in the world. That they have a book of special recipes. So that's a great thing. And to top it off, Cocina Casatua, the one in Brickell and the one in the beach, right? They're gonna have they bought the first half of the retail first floor. So imagine having, you have a location, you have a great brand behind this project, and you also have Casatua as an anchor, which is going to create massive amount of traffic uh, through the building. Well, on the first floor, obviously attracting to the building. And if somebody wants to stay in Miami, it's going to be very easy for to stay in a place where you just go downstairs or whatever, or moving, and you're in the middle of the location. So that I highly recommend that project. So Vita Edgewater, I know my and one last project that I would recommend for you. Now, this is if you want to live in Miami. This is a residential move, right? So this is the Viceroy on Brickell. It's scheduled to be delivered right now to the beginning of the first quarter, almost ready to move in. Is a highly recommended Viceroy. So this will be bigger units, right? Higher HOA fee, obviously, because they charge the HOA. They charge the HOA by the living area square feet, not the balconies, right? So now there's more building catered to somebody who wants to live in there. No Airbnb, no daily rentals. Uh, yes, they have. I think you have a 30-day rental minimum, which that puts it. If you do city of Miami, remember Miami Beach is a little bit different. If you do if you do 30-day rentals, then you can rent it for 3 months. And we talked about this in one of my conversations, and I think I have a video out there. The most rentable, the most profitable rent is a 3 months rent, right? The Airbnb, if you think about it, the daily rentals has, you have to rent it, the cleaning, and when you do all the fees and stuff like that, it is profitable, right? But there's a lot of wear and tear that goes into that, and the maintenance. So people are starting to realize that and looking for a little bit 3 months rental. So when we did a study of the rentals, the 3 months rental is the most profitable one. So that's kind of that you want to be able to rent it for 3 months. That's when the snowbirds come in. But never again, this is the residential. So just like I said in the book, Miami's pre-construction blueprint. I give you tips in negotiating, right? And when you're buying a pre-construction project, the best time to buy is either you buy at the beginning when you take the highest risk, but you do get the best price, or you buy at the end, right? Why at the end? At the end, the building is already built. You really are taking a less of a risk. But then again, I find, especially if you're dealing with me, that I'm a pre-construction expert.